Hi, and welcome to this episode of Sacred Stone Stories. I'm April from April B. Jewelry, and I'm your host for these talks. In this episode, we're going to learn a little bit about lepidolite. Now, lepidolite is not very well known. It is a rare mineral, and it is part of the mica family, so it is on the softer side on the Mohs scale, which is a scale of 1 to 10, from softness to hardness, and we know that diamonds are the hardest at 10. Well, lepidolite and mica are in a general area of like 2.5, so you can see it's considerably softer. This is a piece of lepidolite, a raw piece, and you can see, I remember as a kid going out and we'd find mica and it would be fun to flake it off and hit it with a harder stone and watch it flake apart. Well, lepidolite is very similar to that, and it comes, mostly you'll find it in colors like pink and red and purple, and so this purple is really a nice reddish purple, if you can see, a medium tone. Very different than the typical purple we think of when I think of amethyst and how rich and real purple it is. This is more, I think, of looking at, and if you think about your crayon box as a kid, a red-violet color. Really, really pretty, and it has a lot of shine to it as well. Lepidolite is found throughout the world, notably in Brazil and Canada, Japan, Madagascar, Russia, and in the United States it's found on the two coasts in Maine and California. It is the most lithium abundant bearing mineral and is a secondary source for this metal known as lithium. Now, lithium is also used in treating depression, severe depression, and anxiety. And so those in the metaphysical world, may often recommend lepidolite crystals or jewelry for someone who really suffers from depression or from anxiety, because they believe that I felt that it can help stabilize emotions and dissolve the pain of deeply rooted hurts. When I look at jewelry, and this is the lepidolite bracelet in our collection, you can see that pretty reddish purple. It's a nice warm color, beautiful sheen to it. When I research the different crystals and stones, I look for a message that is contained within that can be helpful to us as our intention. And so the message of lepidolite is to allow yourself to accept help if you suffer from anxiety and depression, so that you're able to move forward in your life and to meet your goals. The thing that I know about those who suffer from depression and anxiety is that it's very hard to seek help, and that they tend to become much more inward, when what is so important is to be able to reach out and to get help from those that you love so that they can understand and that you can work through it. Wear lepidolite to remind you to focus on what is truly important to you and to engage in those practices that will help you relieve anxiety. I also put lepidolite in another bracelet. It's a multi-gemstone bracelet I created in October called the Bracelet for Compassionate Healing. And it was designed specifically for women who have suffered a loss of a child, whether it was through a miscarriage, a stillbirth, or an infant death. It is filled with beautiful healing crystals that are thought to heal the heart and address grief, and to remind you that there is an angel watching over you. And there in the middle of the bracelet is the lepidolite stone. So this might be something that, if you know of a woman who has suffered this, or you are one, this could be a wonderful reminder. You can see the little angel wing on it. I've done a Sacred Stone story fully about that bracelet, so if you want to look it up on my Facebook page at April B. Jewelry Collection, you could learn more about that in much more detail. So if you are someone that really struggles with anxiety and depression, a lepidolite jewelry might be wonderful to wear to remind you to not just internalize, but as we look at the affirmation or listen to the affirmation of lepidolite, this may be of help to you. So as I take my deep breath in to prepare to read it. The Lepidolite affirmation reads, I know asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. I seek help from those I love to help me focus on what is truly important to me. And Lepidolite might be just the thing you need to remind you that you are not alone as you go through this in your life. I hope you've enjoyed this episode on Lepidolite. Until next time, and have a good